Hello and welcome to Tommy's Game Table. My name's Tommy and today we've got our special guest Julian back.
Hey, I'm really excited to be here. Down for another character creation.
Oh yeah, and what kind of character do you think we should make today?
Well, we're moving sequentially through the player's handbook at the moment,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking the next set is Elf, Bard.
Oi, and the Bard. So for those who've never played this game or don't know much about bards or anything like that, elves are pretty synonymous with high fantasy. If you've seen Lord of the Rings or anything, you know what an elf is. Bards are pretty much like magical musicians or performers of some kind that use a little bit of their charisma and their performability to be able to cast their magic and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to touch on a little bit of basic magic stuff this time. It'll be a first for this channel. And without any further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now this time we've also decided we're going to be doing it on DnDBeyond. If you haven't heard of that website, it's just the official Wizards of the Coast D&D page. All the free stuff's super useful.
Yep, all the core stuff's there and you can make a pretty clean character without having to drop a dime.
So, character concept. So we've got an elf bard. Why do you think this elf has decided to pursue a life of music?
Well, that's interesting. I wonder, a lot of wood elves like that kind of stuff. They sing to trees, that's a common fantasy trope, that kind of stuff. So maybe it's taken on a more conventional human element to that concept, taking away the mystique or the ambivalence behind singing to trees and taking it more into like rural communities and become a performer or something like that, shifted those talents somewhere else.
It could even be like a great celebration of their culture where they're from, which like a lot of maybe human civilizations don't know much about them, and that could be their whole shtick as they're trying to spread awareness about their people, their culture and all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Another one I was even thinking of was like a high elf, like noble born, but like the typical music brat. Where it's like dad and mum are like have like a whole life in military or something, and they just want their son to grow up to be a good, hard-working person, and they just want to play guitar.
What's that scene from the Holy Grail? I don't want to be married. I want to sing. Exactly. Perfect.
I think either one of those ideas.
Yeah, I like the second one.
You like that one?
Second one's really good.
So I'm gonna go music brat, high elf, noble born.
Yeah,
man. And we're also going to. We've decided we're going to work on doing level 2 character this time. Next time a level 3 character, and so on and so forth. So without any further ado, let's jump on in there. So we're going to have a high elf bard. So we'll go over to the D&D Beyond side of things, and you'll have like your little name slot there. You can also just go straight across to number 1, which is what I do most of the time, and then I'll go back to choosing a profile picture for it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll scroll on down to elf or punch it in. Beautiful, have all your options there. We're going to go with a high elf. And should we make it chick high elf? Or
sure.
Yeah, we did a male last time. Let's do a female this time. I think Julie and I generally like to come up with a concept for our character before we start actually building it.
Yeah.
So in this case, we might even work our way from like backwards almost. Yeah. So we're going to jump across a couple and go to our background, and I think we'll talk about maybe going noble or something.
Yeah,
I
think noble's pretty good. That's the goal here.
The classic sort of music brat.
The classic.
High hopes for their child. Play guitar.
Like, I don't want to inherit the kingdom.
That's
what we part of a band.
Hang out with me, mates, and play music. So with the noble feat, it comes with a few different things. We won't explain everything because in our first video we go on quite a deep dive on what everything is. But feel free to read through any of this in your leisure. But being a noble, it gives you a gaming set of some kind. So dragon chess.
Just bear in mind, you can always just make one up of your own.
Totally homebrew it. Even if you put in game like the chessboard, it can be a version of a board game or something. It doesn't have to be too rigid.
Whereas gaming, as far as like gaming set, you could argue that maybe they've got like a magical keyboard or something. They used to synthesize music. Or it's something that works like that. And then we can just like kind of roll through some of these, I suppose.
Yeah, so it gives you a position of privilege, which usually means you can have like an audience with nobles in towns, which if you were just like some random scumbag, you wouldn't otherwise have an audience with a king or any of nobility or anything.
Like, is that the princess playing music?
Gosh,
Okay, well, I guess I'll go and see that.
100%. And that can be so handy for role-playing objectives and stuff if you're trying to find out information.
You can cash in on that to get like a deal with like the
free
GM,
accommodation or something.
Free accommodation somewhere. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, bigger gigs.
Bigger gigs. That's a big one.
And what I love about the DnDBeyond site, like sometimes if I'm being lazy or I'm creating an NPC and I don't want to put in heaps and heaps of time and effort writing all of my flaws and background and stuff, DnDBeyond actually has a few that are already pre-written, and they're actually not bad. I use them more often than not, unless I have a very specific character. If I was making my own character for myself to play in a game, I like to make everything myself.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm making an NPC, I'll almost always just use their recommended ones.
Yeah. It just like it cleans up your the speed of your game.
Right, totally. And I think even for this case, like we might even come back to back, so we might even come up with some other ideas that could be cool. So maybe we'll go back to our class.
Yep, sure.
And you'll see here you've got all these proficiencies and your hit points and stuff like that. Anything that has that little blue exclamation point means that there's something that you need to fill out. So what kind of musical instruments are you going to play?
Highborn, so you imagine it's probably something like that, unless we want to go right into the ante and choose something that's definitely not highborn, like...
Yeah, I think like either like the kid who's got like the most expensive, beautiful Gibson guitar, or someone who rejects their whole lifestyle and they've got like a pots and pans that they're playing drums on.
Something like that, like the conventionally... There's a heavy trope in musical culture of the edgy guitarist, who's trying to be non-conformist. This sounds pretty similar to that.
I kind of like that. I'm even picturing a bit punk rock.
Yeah, very punk rock. Well, we're back on the Avril Lavigne train.
Mum and Dad don't understand me. Well, I'm going to maybe a lute or something that requires even a lot of dexterity and like dedication.
Yeah, I think a lute's good. I like a lute here.
Mad. Alright. Oh, looks like we've got a few musical instruments. Maybe lute-adjacent things.
Yep.
Funnily enough, I actually spent some time a few weeks back Googling what all of these instruments are and their history and stuff like that.
You don't know what a glower is?
Yeah, right. Pan flute for when you're just chilling by the fire, and then your more serious instruments when you're playing a gig.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
cool. Alright, so now that we've got our instruments all sorted out there, we're going to go straight down to our skills.
Yeah. So
sweet. Well, because you're a noble, you're already proficient with history and persuasion and stuff like that. So performance, I think, is a must.
Yep.
Definitely need to be a performer.
Even like background aside, as a bard, you should just be taking performance.
Yes, 100%.
Just all the time.
Most definitely. It's your whole
required.
Yeah. In fact, it's strange that it doesn't come with it already, hey, as a bard.
I know.
What else do you think this person would be good at? I don't think it'll be things like survival and stuff like that, because again, being raised in, pretty much luxury.
Yeah.
Maybe deception.
Deception, yeah.
Always lying to her parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, sleight of hand fits into this too.
Yeah, stealing some money off mum and dad. I'm liking this, I think this is writing itself.
Yeah, for sure. I like deception, sleight of hand here.
Yeah.
I was definitely studying.
I was studying.
Pan flute behind your back or something like that.
That's it. Alright, spellcasting, that's just what you get as a bard. You get first level spellcasting and bardic inspiration, which is the main thing that bards have. You can inspire your other players and give them benefits and stuff like that. Again, read through all that stuff in your leisure. And the one thing we forgot to do is scroll back up to the top of this page here and then go to level off to the right. And we put in level 2. Because again, we're starting level 2 with this one. And we'll just scroll down and see if there's anything else that we get at level 2. I don't think there's anything we need to fill out. Jack of all trades and Song of Rest. They're very utilitarian kind of style class, the bards. A lot of the things that will help your other players in your party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sweet, alrighty. So now we're going to be rolling for our ability modifiers, which we talked about last time. It's our strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma.
Yep. Our 3 physical, our 3 mental. Let's roll some dice.
Hell yeah. And you do have the option on there to roll sort of like digital dice. You can also do the standard array. There's the point dice system. We did kind of explain a little bit of that in the last one, but this just does it all that automatically for you, which is really good. So you can roll our first one. Not bad. 12. Alright, second one. 12 again. Exciting. Don't say 12. 13. Oh, 11.
Okay.
Pretty sort of... 15. We got a decent one there.
Solid.
And a 9. Cool. We got a dump stat and we got a high stat.
Big fan of the negatives.
So the good thing is you can put those rolls into anything you want.
Yeah.
As we've done in the last video. So with bards, their main casting ability is actually based off their charisma and their performance and stuff like that. So it would almost be silly not to put our highest roll straight into our charisma.
So I'm going to put that 15 into charisma.
Perfect.
Top down here, and then we'll go our next most important.
Yeah.
Maybe dexterity.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if she's
three.
sleight of handing and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like as a musician, you have to be somewhat dexterous, at least with your hands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Beautiful. What do you think our dub stat should be? Because that's sometimes the funnest.
I think wisdom.
Yeah, again, raised in a castle.
Raised in a castle.
Not street smart at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, thinks they know better.
Yeah, totally. Teenager.
Yeah. Typical. I think strength can be the second one here with no penalty, no positive there.
She's got people lifting things for her.
Constitution, it's less about the background and more about not dying in combat. So like you got to remember that there's mechanics in the game.
Yes,
Constitution is important.
Flavor's great, but you still don't want a character that just sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And reasonably well educated. A 12 intelligence puts you well and truly above the average society.
That's right. Even if you skip a few classes, you're still a bit smarter.
Yeah.
And now you just go over to that little green icon next to the red one, and it says apply ability scores, and then that'll put them all straight up into that top one. And now we also have our racial ability scores as well. So we'll scroll down a little tiny bit, and then you'll see the ability score increase high elf.
Intelligence score increases by 1.
Sweet.
So we could swap around if we wanted here, now that we've seen that. Intelligence with dex.
Yeah.
Right? So that would allow our intelligence to go up to 14 giving us a +2 rather than just staying at 13, similar to the dexterity.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great.
Alright, now that we've changed that around, we've got a 14 in intelligence, that gives us a +2.
Perfect.
Pretty well educated, that makes sense.
Most definitely.
Very, very rich.
Yeah. Even the dexterity, 14 is still well above average and stuff like that, so she's still got to shred her instrument and all that kind of jazz. But again, charisma's the main one, because that's what all of our spells and all of our things are going to be based on.
Yep.
And great thing with DnDBeyond, you can scroll down, it'll show you all the different pieces that all of your ability modifiers will change, efficiencies, all that kind of good stuff.
So we've selected high elf. Have we got any
cantrips.
So as an elf, we get like a base cantrip.
That's right.
Right, and something from the wizard spell list. This runs nicely in the fact that we're already an alternate spellcaster, so we get some like cleric spells and stuff like that as a bard.
Yeah.
Or, more cleric themed spells as a bard. They're bards spells. Yeah. And then we can actually choose from a wizard cantrip, which gives us a bit of utility.
Ooh, and cantrips are so cool. I mean, funnily enough, flavor-wise, I'd almost want to go with Mage Hand so that she's got like an extra hand to help play on the loot and stuff. And that's why she's so shrinkable.
Got a second like instrument just going with the Mage Hand in the background.
Totally.
There.
Just finger tapping away.
Big fan of that. Mage Hand's a pretty good utility spell too.
It's such a handy cantrip.
Mending is also a good one.
Yeah. Restringing stuff like that when a strings break.
Yeah, I'm sure they have absolutely no issues with their temper and don't smash their instruments every now and then.
I think we're picturing a goth band.
Yeah.
And even though she's noble born, you can't afford a guitar after every gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think either one would be cool.
Yeah, okay, we'll go Mage Hand because playing the extra instrument's really funny.
Extra shredful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, spells. So next to class features just below the bard icon, near the top there, that's got a little area where you can add your spells, so you click the little plus icon. And we've got 2 cantrips and 5 spells that we can pop in. Again, it's such a great system because it tells you exactly what you need, so you don't have to be flicking back at pages and stuff. It's always still good to just keep one on hand, because sometimes it's just good to have physical copies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, if your internet goes down or something.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
An issue.
Sticking to this very musical goth feel, I don't mind the idea of Vicious Mockery just being a bit of a brutal punk chick.
Yeah, Vicious Mockery is one of the stronger cantrips too in terms of action economy. You're playing a disadvantage every turn. It's pretty serious.
And even if there's a heckler in the crowd or something like that who's trying to ruin her gig, she could get savage.
Yeah. Call them out.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards either Dancing Lights or Thunderclap here. Dancing Lights for the performance effect.
Yeah.
Dancing Lights, of course, strobe effect in the background of your goth.
That's always so cool.
Thing, but Thunderclap is, of course, sound based, so we got those two.
Ooh, I'm almost thinking the Thunderclap because we've got a lot of utility style spells, but not a lot of damage.
Combat?
Yeah, that's right.
And Vicious Mockery is like tank against a single target, and Thunderclap is nice AoE.
Totally.
So I think that's a nice
and it's still flavor sense. Makes sense.
And like, who doesn't finish their set with a massive Thunderclap that throws all the instruments around anyway?
Yes, that could even be it. Just her smashing a loot on the ground, or striking that mad chord.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Alrighty, so we've also got 5 spells.
5 level 1 spells to go through. I guess we can kind of clean this up into like some flavorful ones and then some utility ones.
I think so.
I think it's virtually essential that you take Cure Wounds. I think that's just kind of required.
And again, as a bard, you're kind of a support character. Like Julian was saying, there's like cleric adjacent things, and if you have a group and you don't have a healer, your bard can kind of fill in a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rogue healer, spellcaster,
Yeah.
a little bit of everything. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Flavorful damage spells, I'm thinking.
We could go, instead of Cure Wounds, I know this is non-conventional, but Healing Word is very bard-like, don't you think? It's
totally.
like
Using your vocals or song to do it.
So maybe that instead of the Cure at first level, or what do you think? It doesn't heal as much, which is the only issue.
I mean, we could almost do both.
Yeah, sure.
There could be even like a really nice, gentle, soft side to this character, because we've talked about how she's pretty much just a spoiled brat, angry goth punk chick.
Yeah, but you got to have dimensions for sure.
Right, totally, yeah. Maybe this one thing she hates seeing is anybody in pain, or something like that, because like she is the pain. She's
kind of person, kind of the person that likes to rock out at the festival. As soon as the mosh pit gets too rowdy, she stops. She's like, "Hey, make sure that person's okay," you know?
Yeah, totally.
Something like that.
Who doesn't love seeing that at a gig?
Yeah,
let's go both. Maybe she's quite
a
caring person deep down.
It really keeps your party alive too. Having
mechanically helps.
Yeah. Now I don't want to. There's a thunder wave here.
I mean, it works so well with the flavor, and we need more damage stuff.
Yeah.
I think thunder wave's
I'm
great.
a big fan of that. Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of the first level stuff are very, supportive, mechanical sort of stuff, utilities sort of stuff. So we still want this character to be a badass, be able to kick ass in combat and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like maybe, even though I've just said we're looking for damage stuff, I'm thinking Unseen Servant, purely just for like a roadie.
That's literally a campaign I was in yesterday. One of the bards had an Unseen Servant that was carrying their musical gear.
I love it.
It was incredible.
And we could even flavour it that it's not actually a spell, it's her childhood person who's always had a crush on her, and she just keeps him in that friend zone, Unseen Servant.
Unseen Servant
zone. Shit. Like, I might even give you a hug.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, it's like Skater Girl all over again.
I feel like we need to have like some kind of Levine or something Averall in the name. One left. Ooh, what is it going to be? Yeah, I reckon we will be able to flavour that. I think too, being a bit of a snobby kind of like, anti-authoritarian, she's probably good at ripping on people. So Alrighty, so that's all of our spells. So we'll scroll back up to the top now.
Yep.
And I think there's pretty much, we just got to work out what this person's name is, what they look like, their description, and then go shopping.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as like the concept goes, languages. So we've got one extra bonus language. I like the idea of deep speech, not gonna lie, I think that's cool.
First time I've ever thought about like maybe deep speech sounds like Jonathan from Korn.
Yeah, of course it does. You imagine deep speech is probably real loud, deep, guttural kind of sounds, because
not like the like Spanish or French, like the language of love. It even sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely not Latin based.
Yeah, I love that. I reckon infernal or deep speech.
Deep speech is sick. And you know what? Your DM's not going to care at all, because it's never going to
come up. Any of those things are probably never going to come up. But if they do. Alright, so we're a noble. We've picked that earlier. We also get an extra language or an extra couple. No, just one extra language for being a noble.
Yep.
So we'll go like one of the other dark ones.
Well, we think either draconic or infernal or something.
I think infernal, like the devil, like
real edgy stuff.
Totally right. Devil horns all the way. I even like the idea of like a whole party of adventurers, and it is a band. She's the front lady of this band, and like we'll have to make like a drummer.
I'll tell you about my one shot.
Right. So alignment. I feel like she's not an evil person.
I'm feeling very chaotic neutral. For this character.
For sure.
I feel like. Yeah, there are no hard set morals or anything like that. Not particularly philosophical or anything like that.
Maybe quite young for an elf too.
Young and pretty erratic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like punk rockers for sure.
Chaotic neutral is exactly how I'd explain a punk rocker for sure.
100%. Yeah. Faith 0.
Yeah, absolutely no faith
in anything.
Yeah, maybe in the devil or something. You know, like,
yeah, Asmodeus. Maybe we should put that in there.
Asmodeus, yeah.
Lifestyle. Oh, so this is the starting money. Again, she's noble born. I feel like she'd be wealthy at least. Maybe
Aristocratic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon aristocratic, and maybe that's. I don't know, that could be a part of her character struggle is people just want to spend time with her because she's got money.
Yep.
And she is super aware of that, so maybe why she's not trusting. And
That's kind of a thing where it's like, okay, well, I've got this group of people around me. I actually just want to express myself, do musical stuff, and they just kind of want to hang out because it's good for them.
Because I keep shouting on the ale.
Am I actually good at music, or are these people just interested because I'm this person? And so she goes by a misnomer maybe a lot of the time, a hoodie kind of thing.
100%.
Kind of like that edgy ulterior motive or alternate personality.
Alrighty, so now we're going to basically just design how she looks. So I'm thinking like almost the classic, like half of her hair white, half of her hair black.
Yeah,
That, like,
not
90s
going for like
emo.
the one side shaved from Hunger Games look or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, we can go for like white and dark.
Yeah, or black and red or something.
Oh yeah, that's sick. I like the idea of mismatching the red, black or something, the outfit or something like
Let's
that.
go with that. Yeah, I like that. Skin pale, so pale.
Gamer pale. That's like a very specific tone of criminally Scottish or something. You know?
I feel like eyes should be something like really pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that would frustrate
Yeah, like hazel or green or something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Green, I think, would be nice. Height. She's an elf, so she's like kind of taller than average, I think. But they tend to be more lithe, skinnier and taller.
Maybe like 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot sounds nice.
That's quite tall for a female standard, but maybe not for her race.
Yeah.
Weight, they're also super light, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
Elves.
real light. Yeah. And now we've got to convert the pounds.
It's every Australian's least favourite bit. Is 100 pounds heaps?
Yeah, sure. Alright, I'm thinking 110 here. That's just below 60 kgs.
Perfect. Yeah, like for 6 foot, that's still
55.
very light, so that makes sense. Age, I feel like young for an elf.
Yeah, so 50.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but the thing is, elves mature much more slowly. They get more time in those brackets to mature concepts.
She's pretty much spent 50 years just playing guitar.
Yeah, she's the equivalent of someone in their early 20s, late teens for an elf.
100%, which I think is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gender, I think we've decided to go female.
Yeah, we did. All right, and then into personal characteristics. Now this is kind of like personality stuff. How we covered this with the previous video, basically. How they view the world, how they interact with the world, some general guidelines for roleplay.
So we'll just have a real quick read over these. Feel free to read all of them in your own time, but we're just going to come up with some ideas that would be perfect for this character.
Despite my noble birth, I do not place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So she's...
It's very punk rock too.
Yeah, it's very commonplace. Every man.
Everyone should think that way, really.
Realistically.
Alright, and now we're going to be going to our ideals. So, independence, I must prove that I can handle myself without the coddling of my family.
Which is interesting because it runs in line with just wanting approval from the family too.
Right.
So it's like there's a separation there. It's like you should fall in line. It's like, yeah, but in order to fall in line, I have to be myself.
Yeah, let me fall in line the way I want to fall in line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe I will take up the mantle. Maybe that's the end goal of this person.
Yeah.
They do actually. It's like the Aragorn, their hero's journey, takes up the mantle at the end, but has to earn it to themselves, not anyone else.
That's right.
Everyone else is like, oh, you're born into it, you've earned it. But
whereas he never felt like he did.
Yeah, exactly. Until the correct time came, then feels like they.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So going down to bonds.
Okay, into bonds. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
So going to some investments here. So bonds are like a strong role-playing concept you can use to really push objectives and stuff for your character motive going forwards. Probably the strongest of the four when it comes to how you want your character to develop narratively.
It almost explains why they have those other things going on in their personality.
It's essential. It's the thing that bonds the rest of the character together in a way.
100%.
The closest one I'm seeing is like maybe number 6 here is the common folk must see me as a hero of the people.
Yeah.
I like that because it doesn't necessarily have to be about themselves. It's earning their role as a
Leader.
ruler or leader. It's like I said, the Aragorn thing. Everyone agreed to be for him to be the king.
Yeah.
Because the man was in the front lines, he earned their respect, you know? Same kind of thing. Maybe this person feels like they need to show that they deserve the throne rather than or something like that.
And maybe her parents, or forever, as long as she can remember, have all gone the traditional route. Like, when you're of age, you become the ruler, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, that's the problem with our society. Like, we are so out of touch with our people and like, the people of the realm.
I want to go and I want to mingle, I want to stage dive into the mosh pit and stuff like that.
Grassroots, all know me before I rule this kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome, I think that works perfectly.
That works well.
So flaws,
okay. So I'm liking 6 and 3 here. So 3 is like, I too often hear veiled insults and threats in every word addressed to me, and I'm quick to anger. It could be that insecurities and stuff develop easily with this character
because there's been
angsty teen thing. It's like, you don't understand, man.
Why always just mean to me?
Yeah, well, what are you talking? It's like, I'm just trying to. All I want you to do is succeed, you know. And it's like that kind of stuff, you know.
I agree.
But 6 is also good. By my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family. But I feel like that's not necessarily a flaw you need to put into your character sheet, and more of a flaw that just tends to happen due to the state of your personality.
And I don't think she would think that's a flaw.
True.
That's her whole shtick, and she's trying to be relatable to people, and like her parents might think it's a flaw. To her, it's like, this is the reason.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's something that happens narratively.
Yeah. Whereas I like 3 just for the flavour of
I really like the 3
angry
here.
thing.
This is good. I like this.
So at the bottom you also have your notes. This is something that's probably a little bit more important in game. So you can write down any allies that you might meet along the way, their backstories, organisations that you're a part of. Again, we could spend time filling this out and really sort of thickening out this character.
Yeah,
we could come up with a name for a noble
A lot
family.
of the time you want like the setting information too, so you got to talk to your GM about this specific section. We're just doing this for this video today. We're not going to put it into a campaign yet. It will definitely be in the bank, much like the previous one. I can't wait to start putting
the old Hailstorm. He might even end up meeting our Avril Labarde.
Maybe we're building our band right now. But as far as these go, we could probably just wait until we need to put that together.
I think so, yeah. And if and when we ever use these characters in an actual playthrough game or something, we'll let you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, make sure you subscribe and like for future content.
Absolutely.
All right. Alright, well that basically does the whole character build and stuff like that. Now we just basically have to come up with a name and a little profile picture.
A couple of aesthetic details.
Yeah, and then we'll show you how it all looks at the end as well, because D&D Beyond's function of actually using your character sheet in game is also really, really good option.
Yeah,
awesome.
Fantastic. Alright, so I think we were looking for a portrait.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Something kind of edgy, metally looking. And we're going for this more clean looking elf here with like the straight back hair.
Name.
Character name. So I think we need to pay homage to the
whole character design.
Queen of Teenage Punk.
Yeah. Maybe like Avriella.
Avriella sounds good to me. Yeah. Avriella. And then a background, a back name. A back name?
I feel like
a
back name. It's a better word for it. Surname.
Yeah. Surname.
What about Leviathan?
Oh yeah,
Leviathan. Yeah. Avriella Leviathan.
I'm putting the Y in because I'm fancy.
It's more edgy as well.
Yeah. I like putting Y's in things where I's are supposed to be. We're really pissing off those grammar experts.
That's right, for made up fancy names.
Yeah, exactly.
They exist though. Yeah. All right, so that's generally our whole character. Now we can go right to the end tab that says what's next.
Yep.
Right after equipment, and then go view character sheet. You can also print it out as an exported PDF. But again, if you've got a phone or something like that, this is such a great thing to have in game.
Yep.
And that's what we're looking at with our character sheet. Really easy to read, nice and concise. Once you use a spell and you click on it, it'll actually use that spell slot up, all that kind of stuff.
It's you reset it.
Same with your attacks. You can go through and actually arm your weapons or your loot or whatever it is that you're using, and your spells, all that kind of stuff. But that's a rough, like this wasn't supposed to be like a tutorial on how to use DnDBeyond. It's just a great tool, and we find it might be a little bit easier to show you guys how to make characters with it than our character sheet in pencil that we did last time.
As far as offering paid services, we're not bothering with that kind of stuff, but this is technically free at the base level.
That's right, yeah.
And it's a fantastic asset you can apply to most of your D&D games if that's what you want to do.
That's right. And honestly, unless you're wanting to use like very specific characters, you can also buy just like the playable races, stuff like that. It's probably only really applicable if you're a DM to be going out and actually spending money in this program.
Yeah.
Because it just opens up so many doors for yourself to create NPCs and counters, all that kind of stuff. We might even end up doing a video that's just a rough overview of the whole of Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it. Avriella Leviathan, the goth angsty bard of Doom.
Fantastic. I can't wait to start developing some kind of campaign or something like that. We can start playing
How
these
she's
characters.
gonna know Hailstorm from our first video.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds good.
Guys, like there's so many videos out there on YouTube, so I'd just like to thank you again for clicking on this one. Thanks for coming and joining the ride as well.
Absolutely.
And a huge thanks to Julian coming and joining up with this video again. You're going to see a lot more of Julian in coming videos.
I'm excited. Thanks. It's been a great pleasure. I really enjoyed myself here. So.
Awesome. Anytime. And I hope you guys have all learned something today as well.
Absolutely.
Well, again, if you'd like to support the channel any further, you can always jump on over to Patreon/Tomi'sGameTable and just check out everything that we've got there. Otherwise, we appreciate your liking, sharing, subscribing, all that kind of good stuff. Awesome.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you in the next one,
See ya.
guys. Thanks again. Bye.